using sign language and your body. Yeah, coconut. Coconut. So C. Is that C? Come on. C. C goes this way. So okay, so C goes C, and then O, C, then U, and then N, and then U, coconut, and then T. Okay, so now you have to do that really fast, okay? So coconut, so let's go. C, O, C, U, T. I'm not very good at it because I'm too full. So anyway, that's a good stretch for those that are here in Kigali. So we're now coming to really the end of this wonderful program that Rwanda has put together for us. And we always save the best for last. So we're going to have a wonderful lady who, to be fair, she's been quietly putting together and listening intently to everything that's been said. And she has been supported by some of our colleagues online as well. So we know that there's a team behind her who have been supporting her. So really, she has been taking notes down, listening to every speaker that has been speaking. So we have to give her a big clap offering because it's just amazing what Generous has been doing. So please, if you can come up and do your presentation and give us a summary of what's been happening. So please come and take the podium. So if we can give her a big clap.
Thank you very much. This event has been a very special occasion to learn a lot of things. Around this general theme, towards Ubuntu and sustainable development, social work position in achieving SDGs. From Tuesday we were here. So let me show you the summary. I have tried to remind you all topics covered during this event from the first day. The first day was very special because it included also official opening ceremony. That's why I put it behind in evidence. During the first day, we have covered these topics, social work in Rwanda, where students from UR took us to the context of social work in Rwanda. We received a communique from IFSW from reminding us the main resolution got from the last international conference that took place in Uganda. Michael from Kenya also exposed on the impact of COVID-19 on social work. We had a very amazing Gerard from Uganda who discussed opportunities and the challenges in the social work education and the practice. And with Alice, you remember her from Kenya. They also discussed youth vision of social work of Africa And I hope everyone has got the answer. Social work do we want? Social work do we want? Also, Omar and his colleague, they talked about new social workers project in Europe, and then official opening ceremony took place. Before we go to the resolution, we from the second day until now, we have covered also a lot of sub-themes. They include child protection, COVID-19 and child social protection, social work, poverty and social protection, decolonizing the nature, Ubuntu, social work and the SDGs, gender, reproductive health, violence and COVID-19, indigenous practice and knowledge, quality assurance system framework of social service workforce, aged care, gender, COVID-19 and economy. I cannot read the detailed report. Maybe you will access it because the detailed report is being finalized. But these are somehow resolutions from all these topics. These resolutions have been compiled considering different expose, but also the keynote from different experienced social workers. The first one is this: the young social workers are the hope for the strengthening social work professionalism in Africa. To enable them, social work educators have to mirror theories and practices in a social work curricula so that young social workers will think locally and act globally. And the generalizing of social work is impactful solution to challenges in the practices of the profession. The reason why, including models and approaches in the curricula of higher learning institutions, is a must. The third one is that social work education in Africa should become real change agency and integrate homegrown solutions in school curricula from universities teaching social work. Discussing child protection, the focus was put on children with disabilities, where we have told that the policy put in place in 2012 is being implemented, where orphanage and residential institutions are being closed to favor children grow up in their families or foster families. So this institutionalization process is a response to problems related to harmful situations in residential center, like lack of love and care, harmful reactions towards children, malnutrition and stunting, lack of proper education, sexual abuse, aggressivity, and the other problems that can be harmful to children. So families should feel responsible of children with disabilities and acquire coping skills. This is also the role and intervention of these institutions, that keep to train, to educate, to counsel children's families so that they become able to support themselves, their children. COVID-19 caused a number of socioeconomic problems, not only to children with disabilities, small business women, as highlighted by different researchers, but also it caused a lot of problems to students, to universities and lecturers, especially because some universities were not able to support their staff, their students in e-learning and teaching, especially because some students come from rural areas where to get network was very difficult. So in the context of social work, COVID has caused a lot of problems and challenges we are even dealing with until now. We discussed the concept that has been very interesting and discussed by different people, Ubuntu. The Ubuntu philosophy should be tied with social work practices, and it should be considered as a powerful tool to make SDGs more relevant and achievable from grassroots level. Its revival will help us to have powerful communities, greater energy, protection, and strong life on earth. Because this philosophy goes beyond providing support, providing aid, and the other direct services, but it goes beyond that, and it is like a foundation of humanism and the humanistic view we should have as social workers will be the bridge and the cornerstone for community development. That's why I have written here that inclusiveness will be a cornerstone to conceptualize Ubuntu philosophy in local social norms in African social work practices. We covered other topics that centered on decolonizing the nature. From them, this is a resolution, harvesting rainwater and well-being of people in rural areas is linked with the social work position in achieving SDGs, because it has to help people to manage and store rainwater to ensure sanitation and hygiene to everyone. In addition, in this context, we have seen that we have to protect environment, because environment is a source of whatever we need in our daily life. The reason why protecting it is a one step of that will take us to the process of implementing SDGs. We have seen also that elderly people are in social need of holistic support by their children, but sometimes children are busy in handling complex responsibilities, and sometimes they live rural areas, they stay in urban areas that are so far from their parents. So we have seen that we should put in place a strong support system that will help elders during retirement. As in Rwanda, we have Ifsw. Ifsw is another homegrown approach that help people to prepare their retirement if they are not government employees or non-governmental employee today. So those who are farmers, those who do different small businesses, and those who don't get monthly salaries, they are the main beneficiaries of this approach, Ifsw, future, bright future. Elders need also to be regularly visited to prevent feelings of hopeless and despair of retired as they are retiring, because these people need really to stay into contact with their children. Social workers, we have seen as UNICEF specified, social workers are few in the social service workforce. So we have to tackle this problem by becoming together as we partner with the government. Strong solidarity, continued networking, and partnership are ways for big achievement and partnership within East Africa, but also in Africa and globally. We will get achievement. This concept of partnership has been emphasized enough. So we have also to look at how locally, regionally, and globally we should keep in touch so that we can exchange experiences and views to achieve to have big achievement. As I said, social workers are few in the social service workforce. To strengthen this and to increase the number of social workers in the social service workforce across the African continent, partnership with not only the government, but also with non-governmental organizations, service user, we read service user-led organizations, and national associations of social workers is recommended. A move from a charity-based model to a right-based service delivery will help. And we have seen that some are employed in social welfare services while are not qualified, they are not social workers, and they don't provide services that enable people to take in hand their lives. This is the good thing we will be doing. We should introduce this showing the uniqueness of social work practices. That's why we have to struggle to see how the number of social workers in the different social welfare settings should be increased. Practitioners are encouraged to document their storytelling to help academicians to consolidate the evidence-based literature through mentoring, writing, and student feedback from industrial attachment, because they are experiencing the reality of a client, so they should help academicians to improve even the content of their lectures. We have seen that social workers encounter a number of challenges during industrial attachment, and these challenges will be continuously discussed not only with the field supervisors, but also with university leaders, so that we can see how we will provide remedies, but also families of our students will be involved. We have seen that ICT is essential in strengthening social work delivery. Access to data must become essential part of service delivery to enable service users to access social services. Especially, we have experience of COVID-19, where during lockdowns, people needed some services and it was not easy to move. So if ICT is incorporated in service delivery process, this can also be helpful in some circumstances. We have seen that except South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia, other African social workers associations don't have councils. That's why we are encouraged to put them in place in order to strengthen the social service workforce. We have to dramatize social work association existence and demonstrate the relevancy of social work to our respective countries. I tried to do this. If I forget anything very important, you can support me. Otherwise, these are the key points I tried to put together. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you so much. That was really, truly brilliant. So she summarized all 3 days. So coming to Rwanda was definitely worth it. I think Joachim and Omar, we are not going to forget that for sure. But thank you so much for your effort and your time. And I know that you had a team also supporting you in the background as well. So to all those that are working in the background, we say thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to go to the next bit, which is also very important. And behind every successful conference, there's always women, but there are also men who have to say something. So I know that there are women out there who've been working in the background, they've been doing all sorts of things. But we have 2 great men who are going to come up and just speak on behalf of all the organizing teams and just say something. And it's very important that we listen to these great men, because they have been behind, the driving force behind everything that's been happening. They've looked after those of us that came. They've made sure that we're comfortable. They've made sure that this place is moving smoothly. All the guest of honors, they've been doing all the checking and making sure things are moving very smoothly. So for those of us who came from abroad, we would like to say a big thank you. I know you're going to come and say something, but we truly appreciate the work that you've done. And I would like to call upon Dr. Joseph Hahitwa. Did I say that right? Hahikwa. Hahikwa? Hahikwa. That's what I've been saying. So Dr. Joseph is just, he's a gentle giant, I think. He is absolutely a gentle giant. Okay, so just before we go to Dr. Joseph, is UNICEF online? Because we've got a rep online. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to just say a big thank you to all those that are supporting, UNICEF being one of them, Hope and Homes for Children have been brilliant, and the mighty University of Rwanda, we love it. So is the UNICEF rep ready to go? Was it Leon? Last time it was Leon. And the gentleman, what was his name? Okay. Mayaka, do you want to check if the UNICEF rep is online?
At the moment, he's not in, but I'm trying to follow up. You can proceed as we wait.
Okay. So again, I'd like to acknowledge the involvement of UNICEF and Hope and Homes for Children and the University of Rwanda for the support. And it's just been brilliant. So Dr. Joseph, are you ready to come on? No, he's not, and I'm not going to force him. Emmanuel. Okay, so we're going to start with Dr. Emmanuel. Again, like I said, we've come to Rwanda, we've made brothers and friends, and he's definitely a good keep. He's got much knowledge, and young people, again, I would encourage you to get to know him, listen to his wisdom, learn from him. So Dr. Emmanuel, our brother and our keeper, he's looked after us very well, and he's the president of the Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers.
Director General in charge of Gender and the Women Empowerment, representing Honorable Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, Mr. Cyrus Ngayabosha, the IFSW Secretary General, who is following virtually, Mr. Rory, the IFSW Vice President, Africa Region, who is here, Mr. Joachim, delegates from UK here present, from Burundi, RDC, Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, Nigeria, Uganda, who are following virtually, Zimbabwe, who are also following virtually. Dear practitioners and the students, colleagues from Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers, good afternoon. At the end of this 4-day conference, I would like to share with you my happiness for the outcome of this conference shared by our colleague, Madame Generez. Various presentations were made in relation to Ubuntu and SDGs. Ubuntu and the social work values are intertwined because the core values of social workers, the core values of social work are service, and a good service is provided with respect, and humility. Social justice. In social work, one of our main aim is to fight discrimination and inequalities, dignity, and the worth of the person. Importance of human relationship are key in the social work profession. Integrity is very important because social workers are full of honesty. A social worker who is not sincere is not a social worker. Social workers should be genuine. And the final core value is competence. Competence. To be competent, social work student must have enough sessions of practice. And I humbly request our universities, University of Rwanda, University of Technology and the Arts of Byumba, Catholic University of Rwanda, Mount Kenya University, Rwanda branch, who are operating in Rwanda and teaching, training future social workers to effectively facilitate student practicum and internships so that graduates are equipped with some practical skills. Competence. Social work graduates require continuous field training to become more competent. And that is why I respectfully make a request to the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion to advocate for a volunteerism program. That program will help our graduates serve the communities while getting the required professional experience that is needed on labor market. And this request will be extended to other ministries and institutions that are linked to social work profession. On behalf of Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers, and myself as the acting president, I would like to recognize the organizations and institutions that financially and logistically support the organization of this conference. I start by the government of Rwanda with its good governance, security, and infrastructure. I thank the University of Rwanda, which is the first university to offer social work education, for allowing us to use its infrastructure for free. I think you have to give them a big clap, because without that support, this conference would not have been held here in Rwanda. IFSW Global, I recognize Sylvan Martinez, who has been represented by Rory throughout this conference, allowed the organization of this conference for the second time in Rwanda. My thanks goes also to IFSW Africa region, Dr. Noel Murizo and Mr. Joachim Mumba. They helped us in the organization of this conference from the beginning up to now. Big clap to Joachim, because he's present here. I recognize the support of UNICEF. UNICEF is a key partner of social work in Rwanda. and homes for children. These are our friends. They are not just partners, they are our friends. We work together. We always cooperate in everything. And they presented in many sessions during these 4 days. Thank you, Mr. Innocent Abimfura. My last thanks go to the organizing team. I start by Bernard Mayaka. Bernard Mayaka, thank you very much for the entire work. From the preparation of this conference up to now, since the day one up to day last. I recognize the conference chairperson here present who coordinated everything here in Rwanda. Dr. Joseph, thank you very much. Mr. Charles Karinganire, the vice chairperson, thank you very much. My final thanks go to all of you who participated physically and virtually. Those who are here present, I humbly request you to bring my recognition to your respective organizations when you go back to your countries, and tell them that we need to cooperate with them in the development and the continuous professionalization of social work. Thank you very much.
Sincerely, we also thank you for the Rwanda National Organization, actually, of social workers. You have looked after us really well. We have eaten tochi. Yes, we have. And we enjoyed ourselves. So thank you for everything that you've done, and you've kept us well entertained. And just a reminder that after this, we're having a cocktail. So don't leave very quickly so that we can go and have more food. So they still have more surprises for us. So don't leave. We are going to the other room. And those of you joining us on virtual, you can have your own virtual cocktails. Mayaka, I'm sorry to let you know that you can have a virtual cocktail, but thank you for all the hard work, Mayaka. I know you're not moving from your desk for the last 4 days, so we do appreciate the IT that you're doing out there in Swiss, and the IT team at the back, and the videoing and the photos. We are looking forward to see all the work that you're doing, so we truly appreciate even the ladies and the gentlemen who saved us all the food over there. Say thank you to the catering team. They've been absolutely brilliant. So the chairperson of this program, Dr. Joseph Hahiwa. Did I do that right? No. Oh, Dr. Joseph. Dr. Joseph says Dr. Joseph is okay. Asante-san.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah. Unfortunately, probably we will not have. It's in Word. This is why it was complicating. So I didn't prepare a PowerPoint document. We can follow it as it is. Yeah, but it's like repeating what my colleague who represents the Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers has said. but in Kinyarwanda we say amagamba adyoha asubiwemo. Who can translate? Huh?
Speech are good, well repeated.
Very good. Yeah. Speeches are good when repeated. Thank you. Yeah. So these are my closing remarks on this International Social Work Conference. Though the guest of honors is not yet there, but we know that the ministry will be represented by the Director General in charge of gender mainstreaming and women. So we recognize his presence in few minutes. Secretary General of IFSW Global, President of IFSW Africa Region, representative of the Chancellor of the University of Rwanda, Chair, myself, local organizing committee, ladies and gentlemen here present, and those following us virtually. Although the summary of the conference was delivered, my speech comes back to it briefly, highlighting some key messages during the 4 days in this International Social Conference. Yeah, I will not talk about what happened every day, but in the beginning, the first day of the conference, Tuesday morning, began with a special youth session where young social work professionals and students from Rwanda, Uganda, and Kenya brilliantly presented the situation of social work education in their respective universities. So it was a very good presentations, and the students were really very brilliant. So we can applaud them. The official opening ceremony started with the Rwanda National Anthem, followed by the welcome remarks of the chair of the conference, who wished a warm welcome to participants and expressed his gratitude to the University of Rwanda that accepted to host the conference without any costs. Please join me in thanking the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Yambabaji Alexandre, and his representative, the principal of the College of Social Sciences. Please applaud. The opening remarks of the representative of the Vice Chancellor, the University of Rwanda, emphasizing the importance of social work in achieving SDGs, and then invited the representative from the guest of honors representing the government of Rwanda for official opening, who also acknowledged the importance of social work profession in social protection and commend a frank partnership with Rwanda National Social Work Organization. The guest of honor has shown a professionalism where she emphasized the role of social work in supporting vulnerable groups, and she underlined the opportunities existing in the ministry she was representing. The opening remarks of the representative of IFSW Africa and the IFSW Global Secretary General, Dr. Rolly Trule, were also informative and consolidating. The IFSW Global represented by Dr. Rolly Truly, also merits gratitude, not only because of the excellent speech, but also for the financial support he provided to run this international conference. We can applaud also. Yeah, we have had an amazing cultural dance, Nyamibwa cultural dance from Huye, and it was very amazing. We can also applaud for them. Yeah, themes were about child protection in general, COVID-19, social work, poverty, and social protection before break of the first day, and live stream sessions after tea break. The keynote was Dr. Jacob Mugombati, who spoke about Ubuntu philosophy in Africa, its origin and its role in Africa, in African everyday lives. So we can also applaud for him. The UNICEF Rwanda, represented by Leon and the representative of National Child Development Agency, talked about the institutionalization of children known as Tubarere mu Muryango, and then the speech of Prof. Adrian Van Breda, who spoke about an interesting concept of resilience. It was also interesting, informative, and very consolidating. Without giving details about the 4 days conference, some of the recommendations mainly request us to be getting where the recommendations get us to be is not easy, but by building on a culture of Ubuntu, sustainable development goals will be reached. Let's thank by applauding all participants, the UNICEF, IFSW, your University of Rwanda, local organizing committee, and the others who have contributed to the success of this conference. Thank you. We can applaud it.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Joseph. We really, truly appreciate your hospitality and all the work that you've done to make this a successful conference. And one of the things that I go back with is definitely Tubalele Mulyango, and really important for children and families to remain in their homes. And I truly champion that. So we're just going to go back to one of the speakers. I think the UNICEF delegate is online, Nami. If Nami is online, I'd really appreciate if you can unmute yourself. And again, we just want to appreciate the work that UNICEF puts in supporting social work and child protection, strengthening the social services as well. So if Nami is online, or is it Eri? I think I can see Eri. So if Eri or Nami, you can just unmute. Hi, Eri.
Hi, Rwanda. Thank you. So I haven't prepared, and I understand this is for the closing remarks. So yeah, we haven't prepared well. So it's going to be just few words. And yeah, I think and as a regional office of UNICEF, I understand it was the last conference we started collaborating together with IFSW, although there are a lot of collaboration went on at that time, so at country level. Then yeah, this time we couldn't do much, but we also, our Western and Central Africa regional office, and also, circulated all the information to our country offices. And so our engagement at regional level is definitely growing. Then, so with country offices, for many good things, especially for the professionalization of the workforce, so working together, so to push the process forward for establishment of the councils, for the regulatory body. And IFSW is always, so really gives us fresh feeling. So whenever I have opportunity to talk to the IFSW colleagues, and also when I was in the conference, I really feel a lot of enthusiasm and true passion for the cause of the profession. And this is something so we really cherish, and we really would like to grow through this partnership and so achieve many things together. So this is that's it. But for the next one, so we really hope we manage the interpretation better. So in the region, we have Francophones, and then we also have Lusophone countries. They are also often, left behind. And we also have some Spanish. So we couldn't manage this time as a UNICEF, but so we try to do better next time. And so this is something probably practically increase the engagement, so at country level and also the regional level. So something to looking forward for the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. If we just say a big thank you to UNICEF. Yes, we are very aware that we do leave our colleagues who are French speaking behind, but it's not intentional. But we've got Bienvenue here and Yannick. I'm sure in the background, the French speakers in the IFSW will also be looking at how we support each other in making sure that this is interpreted well for those countries as well, and Portuguese speaking countries too. So on that note, I am going to go to call upon Joachim, our Vice President of IFSW, and I know Dr. Rory is online as well. So once Joachim finishes, Rory, you could join us. So Joachim, just to invite him in.
Thank you so much, Constance. And so the guest of honor, the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, the principal of the University of Rwanda College of Arts and Social Sciences, IFSW Secretary General, Dr. Rory Truwell, of course, representing the Global President, Dr. Silvana Martinez, the President of the Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers, UNICEF representative, the chairperson of the local organizing committee, representatives from different national associations within Africa, distinguished delegates, our very brilliant keynote speakers, or may I simply say, all protocols observed. I'm delighted to have been a part of this memorable hybrid conference, the IFSW Africa Region 2021 conference, which was hosted by our member, the Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers. Guest of honor, the conference, which started on Tuesday, 23rd November, is coming to an end today. And the conference started with the youth event, where salient issues of concern to new social workers were highlighted and brought together students, social work practitioners, educators, and partners in the social work sphere. Guest of honor, key take-home issues for me were as follows. One, that practitioners need to develop a habit of documenting their practice stories as a way of putting together indigenous knowledge that will eventually feed into social work training. I noted also that it was highlighted that we needed to speed up the decolonization of social work curriculum, and that we need to be deliberate to integrate indigenous knowledge in social work training and practice. One other issue that I can remember so very well is that there is need to invest in the new social workers so as to prepare them to take up the leadership of the profession. There was another issue that came out today in regard to field practicum. That has been a challenge actually even in my country. But thanks to Dr. Jacob Ngumbate, who made a very brilliant suggestion that alternatively we could start looking at community placements as an alternative for practicum, because field practicum is a very critical component in social work training. Again, the other issue is that of the need to strengthen the social service workforce, and that can come through social work legislation and social work councils. I think that is very important to note. Let me also take this opportunity to announce, as we are coming to an end of this conference, that the bid to host the IFSW Africa Regional Conference 2023 is now open, and that the region will in due course place a call for expression of interest on our formal social media platforms and other modes of communication to our members within the region. On behalf of my president, the regional president, Dr. Noah Muridzo, I would want to appreciate the conference organizing committee, that is the local organizing committee led by Dr. Joseph, and the team of the local organizing committee, Emmanuel, Alexandria, we have two, so I put Alexandria squared. Then we have Charles Rutikanga and Charles Kalinganire. So again, it's Charles squared. Then Mrs. Consolari, Mrs. Generous, and those that I may not have mentioned by name. Thank you so much for your commitment. I would also want to appreciate colleagues from the region, Alice Mbiu from Kenya, Gerard from Uganda, John Mary from Uganda, and not forgetting Bernard Mayaka, who's been with us on this trajectory for the time that we started planning for this conference, and is still with us today in the background. So Bernard, thank you so much. You are a brother from another mother. IFSW Global has been exceptional in its support in making this conference a success. So we want to say thank you through Dr. Rory Truo, the Secretary General, that please pass on our gratitude as a region to the Global President, Dr. Silvana Martinez. We are also grateful again to the hosts, our member, the Rwanda National Organization of Social Workers, the government of the Republic of Rwanda for allowing us to be here, the University of Rwanda for hosting us, UNICEF Rwanda for the support that you've received, and also for participating in this conference. UNICEF Esaro, of course, through ERI and NAMI for their support. They've been with us all along, including the time that we're planning for this conference. We say thank you. We appreciate also the presence of different national associations present here. I note my president from Nigeria, and also represent the president from Burundi, the Secretary General from DRC. We say thank you so much, including those that have been with us online or virtually. We are grateful, and this is how it's supposed to be, and this is the only way we can grow our profession in the region. We are also grateful to our partner, Hope and Homes for Children, the keynote speakers. They've been brilliant. We are grateful for your time and also for the valued input. We are also grateful to the technical team, colleagues behind there, led by Eric, and those that, of course, are in here. We are grateful for your support and indeed for your professionalism. Last but not least, we just also want to appreciate those that have been, supporting us here at this venue, as well as those in here, the volunteers, the ushers. You've been very, very good. Thank you so much. As I conclude, I just wanted to indicate that from the time that the International Federation of Social Workers was formed, that was about in 1956, and also the time that the Federation started regionalizing, starting with, of course, European region in 1965 to date. Africa has never had or produced the global president. So I want to take advantage of this August House as a way of concluding that the Federation will be having elections for various positions next year, somewhere about in May. That is during the general meeting. And after methodically thinking and looking at the way we've grown as a region, and after discussing with quite a number of colleagues within the region, as a region, we've decided that this coming election, we are going to have a candidate from Africa to vie for the global president. And we've decided that I'll put my name on the table so that we can see how we can grow the profession in Africa, as well as contribute to the global narrative based on our experience and learnings from within the region, so that we can influence the globe in terms of social work in Africa. So thank you so much, and hope we can move together on this trajectory. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And on that note, Rory, are you ready to pick up from there? Super. We're very excited to hear that Joachim has put his name forward.
I think there will be many people throughout the world that will be very excited that Joachim has put his name forward, that we have a candidate for the global president's position from Africa. It's a long history of social work worldwide in all of our regions, in all of our countries, and it is absolutely time for the global presidency to be led from Africa. Thank you so much to all of the colleagues that are putting their names forward for these roles and taking the responsibility of being in a leadership, not just for your own country, your own region, but the profession globally. They're challenging roles, and it's important that they are not dominated by any one country or any one region, and that's vital for our profession. So I'm so delighted to hear of this announcement. Thank you so much. Just to start my comments formally at this point, on behalf of Silvana Martinez, the IFSW president, who can't be with us because she is in Argentina at this point in time, the global executive, again, I want to thank everyone for this spectacular event. The Rwanda Association, the organizers, the presenters, those behind the scenes, all of the participants online and at the event have all made incredible contributions, and you have made social work absolutely proud because of your actions leading up to and having this event. Thank you so much. Also, in the lead up to this event, your region in Africa has played a spectacular role, a role model for other regions in terms of organization, bringing people together, facing the challenges collectively. And so I have a particular and special acknowledgement to Noel Maritzo and to Joachim Mumba, with support from many individuals, but also particularly from Instance, who have made getting through this challenge of the pandemic an opportunity to raise the voice and the brilliance of African social work and what it can contribute to the world. Africa, you stand tall. You've articulated Ubuntu, Ubuntu for the SDGs, Ubuntu for your own nation, and Ubuntu for IFSW and the world globally. There are colleagues, of course, in this forum that have been watching and learning and participating in that development. But all of these recordings and all of these messages will echo on in a really positive way as the profession develops. I cannot underestimate the importance of what you have achieved today. Thank you. There are still challenges ahead for you in Africa and for social work and for humanity and for all of us. We are overcoming, social work is positioning itself and overcoming and addressing many of these challenges, but we are not yet in a place to be complacent, and we need to be alert and we need to be active. It was said in the meeting several times, in the conference several times, to make global rooted, to make the profession of social work at a global level rooted, we must be grounded by the local. That is one of the strongest messages and contributions that has come out of this event. Therefore, we must not lose sight of that message and the development of how the communities that we work with will understand social development and their contribution and participation within it on their terms, and in Africa on your terms. We are still at threat of a global domination of social policy and philosophy and practice from the wealthier Western countries. And we still need to remain absolutely on guard that when confronted with well-intended ideas for social development in Africa or in Asia Pacific or in Latin America, we need to be on guard and think, how can those be applied to work, or how can those other strategies be advanced to work that our communities will identify with? Because if our communities don't identify with the strategies for social development, we know that they will not work. So we need to remain on guard, but we know what we've achieved in the last years, and so beautifully summarized in this event that we've all participated in the last days, that we can do this. That you can develop social work in your own terms, in your own region, that you can connect that with the developments in other regions, and that we can all stand together, but in our own terms. So I want to thank you again, each and every one of you, whether you're a student, a professor, a practitioner, a member of the public. All of us have made incredible contributions, and it has been a wonderful, heart-filled experience for me and for all of us, I think. Go well from this conference, go with a full heart, acknowledge the contributions you've made, and know that we will come together again soon. And I look forward to seeing you all again in the 2022 Global People Summit, if not before. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution, Dr. Roy Trill, our Secretary General at the IFSW Global. At this point in time, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Director General in charge of Gender and Women Empowerment in the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, Mr. Silas Ngaya-Mbosha. Thank you so much for joining us, and you are welcome. Before I call you to the podium, I just want to give you a summary of what we've been doing. First of all, we would love to appreciate your country for those of us that came from outside. We have been looked after really well. We have conquered the 1,000 hills. Only one, the one that if you are coming up the university, if you're walking up, that's the only one hill. I haven't done the other 999. So next time we'll come and conquer the other 999 hills that you have. But Rwanda has been wonderful. And those of us that come from countries that are still yet desiring to create the infrastructure, we have to say congratulations to you guys. You are doing a great job, and the leadership is absolutely on track. We all want to move to Rwanda, so we'll go home and think about coming back here, because it is a beautiful country and the people have been very good. They've looked after us well. The food has been good. Ntochi, excellent ntochi, and bruschetta. Like a goat bruschetta. So on that note, one of the things I want to pull out, which is a message that I hope you as a ministry representative would hear, is what the youth are saying, that practicums are very difficult to find here in Rwanda. And as a ministry, the young people are asking, is it possible to have a volunteering aspect within your ministry so that they can come and do some voluntary work? So you would have a free workforce that are very educated and well-skilled. So the universities will provide you with skilled workforce. So the one area that we would like to partner with yourselves, and I say we because I'm part of the social work community, is volunteering opportunities for our students, because we know that that would reinforce your workforce, but you would have a very skilled workforce that would work with your vulnerable service users. So that's one thing that they want from you. So when you come on your speech, you should have, come and tell the youth I'll think about it or I'll get back to you. And then I will give you a call and say, are we on track on that thing? Because I do that. So I'll follow up and you and me will talk about the practicum. So youth, did I do that okay for you? Yeah. The youth are happy. And the lecturers, they are not happy. So the youth want the jobs, the lecturers have jobs already. So please, guest of honor, I would like this opportunity to just again reiterate that we've been well looked after. The conference has been very successful. We have had representatives from different organizations within Rwanda, but across Africa, Europe as well. And our main issue has been around strengthening professional standards across Africa, but also here in Rwanda, they've started the journey and they're still to catch up with certain areas, and I'm sure you'll be briefed. But most importantly, we are in the business of supporting and amplifying voices of vulnerable people. And we are in the business of ensuring that vulnerable people, women, children, adults with mental health, people with disabilities are getting what their rights are said to be in this country or across the world. So as a profession, we promote families. And I love the title of your ministry. That is the business we are in, strengthening families. So without wasting too much of your time, I would like to call you to come to address us as our guest of honor, Mr. Silas, please.
I tested negative today. Thank you very much. The Secretary General of International Federation of Social Work Global, President of International Federation of Social Work in Africa region, representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Rwanda, chair of this conference, the local organizing committee, ladies and gentlemen here present, and those colleagues attending virtually. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, she was unable to join you. You know, she's a social worker. Yeah, she's outside of the country doing social work. So, and on behalf of the ministry and on my own, I would like to thank you all for choosing Rwanda to host this conference and your participation from 23rd up to 26th today is very crucial to our country. And thank you for what you've enjoyed, although I don't believe that you only climbed one hill, because even in Kigali we have many of them. But thank you for the encouraging messages. I am confident that the main topics have been discussed under the theme. I liked this theme personally, towards Ubuntu, and sustainable development. I don't know in which language Ubuntu is, but I know many languages, especially in Africa, have a similar name and almost the same meaning. This conference came the time when in March this year we concluded another symposium that was called Ubuntu Symposium. And the theme was, I am because you are. And I'm pretty sure that although I did not attend different workshops of these conferences, but I'm sure that they were all contributing to this. I am because you are, and this is when aspirations, everyone enjoys his or her rights, aspirations, and potentials are valued and favored by fellows, but also by the environment. This conference comes in a time where the whole globe is facing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, where it has disrupted our ways of life and the way of doing our daily activities. Therefore, it is very critical to discuss the contribution of social workers in the recovery process, in the reconstruction of our communities, and all in building better, but without forgetting to see it as an area affected by the pandemic. In the same context, the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the lives of people worldwide, and women and girls, we all know that they are likely to be much exposed to COVID-19 risks and worsened by it due to social, cultural, and behavioral differences among other factors. This brings us to a number of questions. What kind of special work do we need in Africa, especially? And how can we collaborate between academia, government, and civil society organizations, and even private sector, to make a change in the lives of our communities? Because I think this is the most shared goal between our ministry and social workers. Such discussions should generate proposals on the way forward and benefit all of us. For the case of Rwanda, there are many areas that need the contributions of social workers. Update, the social workers are contributing to the mandate of the Child Development Agency through the program called TMM, Let's Raise Children in Families. And committed by the government of Rwanda, ensuring that all children can grow up safe and protected in families. Therefore, the data entry of orphan children and MOU signed in paramount in the implementation of the program. At grassroots levels, as we have community structures and initiatives, including Friends of Family, Families Evening Forum, child protection committees from village level, and social works can contribute significantly in improving those platforms for discussing and resolving family conflicts, creating an awareness on GBV prevention and child abuse prevention, as well as facilitating GBV reporting. Social workers can also support the reintegration of victims of GBV. In addition, among other initiatives in place, the most outstanding model is a model to handle cases of gender-based violence in Rwanda is known as Isanje. Isanje, feel at home. Isanje is a Kinyarwanda word, but simply meaning feel at home. Isanje one-stop centers that have been established and are operational countrywide to provide holistic services, be it medical, psychosocial, and legal services to the victims of GBV and child abuse under one roof. And the centers have increased from 9 in 2014 to 44 in 2020. Therefore, as we end this conference, let us join hands to work on the gender-based violence against mostly women and children and its roots, because yes, we've been in collaboration with social workers doing an incredible work. But the policy, the new revised gender policy as approved on 19th of February this year, recommends us to go beyond just counting or number of women, number of men, but going into the root causes of the problem, which is the way we define ourselves as men and women, the social cultural norms on how to be a man and how to be a woman, and the gender roles, behaviors, and the practices associated to that meaning we construct. And the patriarchal systems in most African countries and which influence cultural norms and beliefs around women and girls and their position in the society are seen as the root causes of inequalities, thus the root causes of gender-based violence. There is to change the approach on gender equality and design a specific approach for men and boys to transform their masculinities and men in social works as agents of change to ensure Ubuntu through social work practices are transformational and improving the livelihood of both men and women. Another key element is the increase of funding in the response mechanisms, aiming at the reintegration of victims in their communities and more coordinated response to support both women and men and boys and girls in conflict situation. Gender equality and women's empowerment are a substantial necessity to ensure inclusive social work. Achieving gender equality is the best way to make progress in all sustainable development goals and build a universe where everyone can prosper. And how do we do that? Social work and social workers can best inspire all of us. Providing internships? Yes, but not only the ministry, but the ministry can advocate for the rest of the institutions to use that approach as one of the channels to empowerment. We've been having a program with UN Women of an internship program. That was, I hope male students would understand, but it was focusing on girls. You well know that we are still having many reasons for some programs to focus on women's and girls' empowerment. And it has been producing unexpected results because within 6 months of internship, let me say that it has been disturbed by its own results. We were expecting to provide a 6 months internship, but after 6 months, girls were much empowered that 80% of them were employed. So the program was disturbed by positive impacts, positive results. So we're still discussing with our partners so that we can get more support, because you cannot just say I'm providing an internship. There is some resources behind. And another thing is to work closely with academia, as I mentioned, because we are on the labor market. We know what are the needs. I think a closer collaboration with academia, with higher learning institutions is needed so that we can all work hand in hand to respond to the needs of the market. With these last words, allow me to declare on behalf of the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, allow me to take this opportunity to declare that this conference is closed. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Murakoze cyane. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are going to stand for the Rwanda national anthem, and it will be led by our colleague. He's looking at me like I'm going to sing it. Honestly.
Thank you very much. And I would request everyone to pay attention as we are going to sing the Rwanda national anthem. Rwanda nziza gihugu cyacu, uje imisozi, ibiyaga n'ibirunga, ngo byiduhetse gaho n'ishyamba. Reka tukurate tukuvuge ibigwi, tubumbire hamwe twese abanyarwanda uko watubyaye. Berwa sugira singizwe iteka. Thank you very much.
So if we can just go to the room next there is some cocktails, and if we could get a group photo with everybody outside before the guest of honor. Are you staying for cocktails? You have another meeting. So if we have a quick, if we all just got everyone, students, everyone join us, let's have a big group photo outside the stairs. Make sure you wear your masks. And if we quickly go, before we lose the guest of honor, please, because he's got no time for us. The people online, are they gone? Thank you for everybody online. And Mayaka, we're done now from this side. So thank you, everybody. Okay, students, come on, you've got more energy than the old people. Run fast, fast. Let's move, 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 move.